Since we're on the topic of Rowan Atkinson and British comedy, it would be remiss of me if I didn't share another British classic, Blackadder. I didn't discover Blackadder until I was in my 20s. I've always enjoyed studying history, and Blackadder was the perfect combination of British history and silly humor. So when I discovered A Blackadder Christmas Carol, I was thrilled. A Blackadder's Christmas Carol originally aired in 1988. This episode is a comedic twist on Charles Dickens' classic novella, A Christmas Carol. In this version, however, the main character is not the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge, but rather Ebenezer Blackadder. The plot follows Ebenezer Blackadder, who is the nicest and most generous man in England. Unlike his infamous ancestors, he is kind-hearted and always willing to help others. However, on Christmas Eve, his life takes a turn when the Spirit of Christmas, played by Robbie Coltrane, arrives and shows him the wicked ways of his ancestors, unintentionally convincing him to change his ways from nice to naughty. The relationship between Blackadder and his servant Baldric, played by Tony Robinson, is wonderfully written and presented. From Baldric's play-by-play of the nativity scene to his unique spelling talents. And there are many personalities in this special who are so vile or selfish you can't help finding yourself rooting for Blackadder to change his kind, generous ways. The special has so many wonderful performances by Hugh Laurie, Stephen Fry, and Miranda Richardson who reprise their roles from the original series. A Blackadder Christmas Carol is a witty take on the traditional Charles Dickens story. It is a great addition to the Blackadder lore, and if you are a fan of historical or British comedy or the classic Dickens story, this special is well worth the watch. I decided to invite my friend and co-host of the podcast, Jamie Palerider, to share his love for this special. All right, to talk about Blackadder Christmas, I thought I'd have my friend Jamie, the most festive person I know. As you can see right here, he's all festively decked out, which is not true. But for some reason, Blackadder Christmas, not a fan of regular Christmas specials, but Blackadder is one of those that stick out with you. So why does this movie stick out? Why does this special stick out?
Because it's hilarious and it's Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, Mr. Bean Christmas and Blackadder Christmas Special are definitely in the rotation, which I don't do a lot of that for Christmas. For Halloween, we go nuts. Christmas, not so much. Like, it'll probably just be, we watched Mr. Bean last year and we watched Blackadder this year.
Are you a fan of, like, the Christmas Carol storyline at all?
I can take it or leave it. I still feel like the best rendition of it is the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes, the Muppet Christmas Carol is very good. But I like this take on the Blackadder one where they just flip it in reverse. I mean, what did you think of that?
Dude, the reverse Christmas Carol is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you frame it amongst, like, if you go in knowing all about Blackadder and how much of a dick he is. And just seeing the Christmas Carol from the reverse, and it starts off with him being nice and just ending up with nothing, just him and Baldric just going to bed in the dark. Yeah, it's hilarious. And then the ghost of Christmas past, I guess, Robbie Coltrane is awesome, accidentally teaching him to be a dick because it'll get him more stuff is so funny.
And the cast of characters is so good. Like, it's a weird dynamic where you're rooting for Blackadder and to be the bad guy, to stand up for himself. Like, which character for you really just kind of stood out in the special?
My favorite of all time in Blackadder as a whole, and they're in the Christmas special, is Queenie. She's so funny to me.
Yes.
God, like, just the scene where she's canceled Christmas and it's her and the other lady just ripping up Christmas decorations is so friggin' funny to me. And yeah, I don't know what it is about her acting, but it entertains me to no end. She's funny as hell.
He's like a 10-year-old child up on the throne there, complaining and whining.
She plays it pretty over the top, but her mannerisms are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to me, in that whole thing, no one really holds a candle to Rowan Atkinson himself, but Miranda Richardson comes the closest, I would say.
I would totally agree. Yeah. Do you know how to spell Christmas Baldric style?
I do.
Oh, you do?
It's KWEZNUZ.
That's awesome. That's my favorite part. And I was like, and they leave it to the end.
Yes, they do.
With after the credits. So here's how he actually spelled it with none of the words.
What a great gag.
None of the letters.
Like, oh, you managed to misspell Christmas. There's an H in there. And an R. And an I.
I. An S, a T,
an
M, and
A.
A.
Oh, and you miss a C at the beginning.
I really enjoyed the scene where Baldric talks about the pageantry and for the kids, and they had to nail up the dog or for Easter, and it's just like the whole setup. Those two work off each other very, very well. And
Christmas pageant for the kids.
Yeah,
Baldric relaying the mishaps. It's hilarious.
And Jesus was away.
Yeah, and then Jesus was trying to get a piggyback ride from one of the sheep.
So, and like I said, it's wonderful. The cast is great. When you see Fry and Laurie up there, good. It's the nice little takes back to the original seasons of not the original, sorry, because they did leave out the very, very first season of Blackadder, but it's a nice little carry on, very quotable, very fun, and it is festive, strangely enough, too. It is. Yeah,
in a very Blackadder, Rowan Atkinson way.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what is your favorite Blackadder exclamation? Like the things he would say when someone knocks on the door.
Oh, in the special?
Do you remember any of them? Yeah, just in the special.
Well, like something, example, peel my pudding or something like that.
Peel my tangerine.
Peel my tangerine. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
God, those were hilarious too. They were so funny.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Jamie, for talking about Blackadder Christmas. I'm glad we're able to find a little bit of festive spirit in you when it comes to this, and it came to Blackadder, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, another shared love.